We were poker crazy last week in the partypoker.com European Open. 2 players out in 4 hands. And it was Ian Fraser, fresh from a recent $500,000 win, who took a seat in the semifinal. This is one great game, this poker. Seats open at the partypoker.net European Open. I'm Jesse May, here with actor and poker player man of the hour, Michael Greco. Now, Michael, a lot of people watching this poker on TV trying to pick up tips, and we've sort of put together 5 top tips to improve your poker game, especially on these one-table tournaments. The first tip: know your opponents and pay attention. That's important.
Knowing your opponent is so important because you've got different categories of your opponent. You've got a rock, you've got a very aggressive player, you've got a calling station, you've got all these different types of people. And especially if you've never played with them before, you've got to be focused and you've got to watch what they're doing, what their body language is doing, how they put their chips in, how they talk, how they raise, everything. Because you're going to be up against them at some point.
And you need to have different sort of game plans for each different kind of player, I guess.
For every different kind of player, you've got to have a game plan. Can you bully them out of a pot? Can you bluff them? Will they call you? You can't sit around and start reading a magazine that you've got nearby. A lot of people wear sunglasses, and I tend to be a fan only because I like to watch what's going on. And the only reason I wear sunglasses, I don't like to see them watching,
right.
Me watching them.
Yeah, the watcher's watching you.
That's
so
right.
Pay attention. That's a top tip. Another one: know your own strengths and weaknesses. Is that important?
Know your own strengths and weaknesses. I know one of my weaknesses is that I tend to think that I'm always beaten with a better hand. So know your strengths. Know that you're check raising. A lot of people like to check raise with nothing. They know if they can't win the pot, they're going to check raise.
Yeah, I mean, I have my own personal weakness. I play bad, but I mean, you have to obviously know yourself when you're at the table. A third tip we have is know when to fold them.
Know when to fold them, and I think a sign of a good player is knowing when his aces are beaten, when they're cracked, knowing when his hand is completely done, because you can lose so many chips with your aces, and you've got 2 callers, and someone re-raises you on the flop. You've got to know when to put your aces down. That's a good sign of a good player.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of players are looking to win the big pots, but not losing the pots and folding your hand when you're beat. Obviously, that's
exactly. I mean, the best situation for aces is to be heads up, for example. Because then you've got more chance of beating your opponent. But when it gets to 2, 3, 4 players you're against, the chances of you winning your aces become slim.
Okay, a fourth tip we have is sort of from the Mad Marty school: ask the question.
You've got to ask the question. You've got to, as I go back to the check raise, if someone's made a bet and you've got to ask the question, I'm going to re-raise them. If they come over the top of you, then maybe you think you've lost. Especially pre-flop. If you're raising and someone re-raises you, you know they've got some kind of a hand, unless they're bluffing. If you re-raise them back and they go all in, you've asked the question. Those kind of circumstances.
Right, so sometimes you get more information by raising than by just calling.
Exactly, and you can lose the minimum then, rather than going down to the river where you could be out completely.
Okay, last tip about the free card. A big no-no giving players a free card.
I never give a free card, ever. I want to win the pot there and then. I'd rather win the few thousand that are in the pot there, take it home, rather than giving them a free card. They hit their 3-outer and then you lose all your money. Never give a player a free card unless you have the virtual absolute nuts.
So there's 5 top tips, but we've got one more. This comes courtesy of former world champion Phil Hellmuth. You want to get to the top? Listen to Phil.
This is such a beautiful tip that I'm going to have to charge you to learn it. So I'm going to assume that the check's in the mail from you guys at home. When you make a bluff and you get caught making that bluff, sit back in your chair and remember exactly how you put the chips into the pot. Remember exactly where your hands were on your face, if anywhere. Remember if you were leaning backwards or forwards. And sometime in the next half an hour when you pick up a powerful hand, bet it exactly the same way. What it does is it sends signals to your opponents that you're bluffing. They can't help themselves. They're trusting their own abilities. You get to trick them. So when you have that strong hand, make sure you bet it exactly as you did when you bluffed earlier. That's going to screw up their instincts. They're going to say, he's bluffing, he's bluffing, he's bluffing. They're going to call you and you're going to say, I got it, thanks for the chips.
Well, that was worth the money, but it's a good point Phil made there, Michael.
It's a very good point. When you've made a hell of a great hand and the way you bet, try and recreate that when you're trying to bluff someone, and they're going to find it very difficult to call you.
We're going to see some bluffs tonight, and plenty of them will get caught out. Let's see who's playing and who is sitting where. and the Great Schism about to get underway. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Well, the cards are slide and everything is ready to go. Michael Greco and myself will be guiding you through. It's a rare pleasure tonight with this talent on the table. Let's get over to the action.
In the final in Paris, the power went in the whole of
the blinds are 1 in 2,000. There's 100,000 in chips per player, putting 600,000 on the table. And in this lineup, we have at least half of the field has played in this format before. Yanni Sointula, bit of experience and success here. Taxi Dave, trouble with the cards, but he wants to fold around to the button here. And will the judge start things off?
Yep. Can play it very conservatively. Just the small and the big blind. Let's see a flop straight away.
Warren Mason with the king deuce from Wolverhampton, Warren, and Roland's got a better hand. He is part of that Midlands crowd, and I know he counts some people like Mad Marty. His mentors, and they've both flopped top pair here.
Yeah, it's got all elements of a split pot here, hasn't it, unless they hit their kicker.
It's gone check, and look how slow they're both playing. What's this about, Michael?
I don't know, they both got top pair. Do they not want this pot?
Slow play to oblivion. They now both have the same hand. Neither kicker plays.
No.
5,000, call and mirror.
And Roland de Wolfe just checked, and then called Wozza down, and they've both got the same hand. That pot could have been a lot bigger. What do you think? Roland just did not know where Wozza was at. Wants to ease in slowly here.
I suppose they're both worried about their kicker, but you've got to remember there's only 6 players here, so the probability of the other one having the king is reduced somewhat. So yeah, I'm quite surprised at least one of them didn't take the initiative and went all out on the attack. But the pot could have been a hell of a lot bigger.
Joint first for Roland de Wolfe. He's actually tied with the entire rest of the table. But I've seen Roland play a couple times on television recently, and he has been very, very dangerous. Very good player, Roland. He's sort of just rocketed into the poker progeny with that big win in Paris, the WPT win, and since then he's made a big name for himself.
Well, it's incredible how when you win one big event, Jesse, especially €500,000, it gives you so much confidence to play in other events, purely because you've got the money. Oh, Dave, you put the cards the wrong way around, mate. That's it. Oh, I don't think a king-8 there was something he folded.
Raised to 6,000 total.
Dave, and a triple the bet from Nile Callahan, who has clearly come to play. The 2 6s, getting respect round to the table. And this hand over, unless Yanni Sointula decides to play. He doesn't.
I think, obviously, I don't think any of these players have played with each other before. Maybe Roland and Yanni, but I think just getting to know each other's games, just sussing, while the blinds are still low, Jesse, it's good to just suss each other out, see if you can get any tells on anyone, see how they're playing.
Cards out, 2 per player. Action will be on Nile Callahan first. Or no, he's in the big blind, excuse me. It's the judge to speak. And the judge has a peek, a look, and a muck-up.
And I'll raise.
Raise.
And I'll 6.
Wozza could
total.
easily be the catalyst at this table.
Most
Michael.
definitely.
Pass.
He's only been playing poker 2 months.
Pass.
So an industrial cleaner. And he says if you think the other players in Wolverhampton from the Swan Coat are reckless, Wozza is playing like a tree on fire. And he's already gotten involved in a couple of pots.
hairstyles.
He says his playing style is similar to...
Yeah, mine went out with the arc. You got the long hair in the middle.
His
Skinheads on the left.
playing style
back
is
and sides
very
on the-
similar to Mad Marty Wilson, apparently. So he could be one of Marty's disciples. If he's anything like Marty, we should see some good action tonight.
Yeah, could be a tournament director in the future.
He could well be.
Life's a test.
Warren Mason under the gun, and that's the kind of hand that looks pretty, but under the gun, punished
Raise to 8,000 total.
by Roland de Wolfe. 9-3. What's Roland up to?
Okay, Roland's just making a move.
Pass.
I hope so. Round to Nile Callahan.
Call.
I imagine he's gotten better than 9-3. He's just called as well. We're going to peel this
Oh,
flop off.
he's got queens.
He's trapping.
That's a great call. I like that. I mean, he's just got to pray and hope there's no ace or king on the flop.
So Niall going for the big
Call.
suck in early, and he's let Wozza in here as well. This could be dangerous, but Nile Callahan living on the edge.
It could well be. If he sees a king or an ace on the flop, he's got to be very, very wary.
And that's a great flop for Niall because Roland de Wolfe has made top pair, and so has Warren Mason.
This is fantastic. It's a great check by...
12,000.
It's a great check by Niall. We should see a raise there. He's got to raise it up.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of exit strategy Warren Mason and Roland de Wolfe have. Nile Callahan's in a strong spot.
He's got to raise it here. He can't just flat call.
This is a lovely trap. You don't usually see this kind of play from the young players. Playing slow before the flop. And the Irishman all in from Roland de
All in.
Wolfe. Nile Callahan off the plane from Dublin.
He's going to call this. He's going to call this. He's definitely going to call
He's
this.
been put to all his chips here. Kings or aces would definitely beat him. Does he put Roland de Wolfe on that kind of hand?
No, definitely not.
What about a
Definitely not.
set?
Possibly a set, but would Roland be that aggressive with a set? He's got to call him. He's got to call him. You've got to think, okay, what have you got? What have you raised with? Maybe he could have kings or aces, maybe.
Oh, this is high quality stuff from both players, and de Wolfe did not even hesitate, but now he's frozen like a tree stump, and his eyes are darting everywhere. He does not look like the happiest bird in the tree.
No, if you look at Roland's demeanour, he does not want a call, does he? He doesn't want that at all. Niall has just got to study Roland and see that he does not want him to call this. I know we can see the cards, Jesse, but if I was in Niall's position, I would call, because it's a very weak bet going all in.
Well, Callahan, part of that crew of young Irishmen in Dublin who are really lighting this poker scene up. Niall's brother David, second in an EPT tournament last year. His father's a good poker player, and he's having trouble with this decision.
Well, he's come a long way, Jesse. He just doesn't want to go out on the fifth hand. Oh, he's passed.
He's passed. Roland de Wolfe has taken him off the hand. The big bluff from de Wolfe.
Wow.
9-3. And
Wow.
that was just an amazing hand. Niall set the trap, and he got it sprung on him, bluffed out, and de Wolfe has just played a 9-3. In fact, de Wolfe was third place after that hand.
That is
on the
incredible.
flop.
He goes top of the leaderboard, 147,000 chips. Darren Judge is second at 101, and that puts Nile Callahan right at the bottom of the pile with 63,000.
Amazing stuff. And from Nile Callahan's point of view, you know, he played that hand slow in the beginning, and he didn't find out that all crucial information about whether or not de Wolfe had kings or aces before the flop, and I guess that's what happened there, Michael.
I think that's maybe it. Had he re-raised pre-flop and Roland calls, then he could have put him on kings or aces. But had he re-raised, he would have won the pot there and then.
Might have thought he was up against a set. It just, wow, he got that sprung on him hard.
Do you know what? I thought he played it brilliantly. There were no kings or aces on the flop. He's raised him. He's got called all in. I would have gone straight in. I would have gone straight in. It just seemed a bit of a weak bet from Roland, that's all. If he'd hit a set, he would just flat call Niall's raise.
Action here as well. The raise was from Darren Judge before the flop.
Check out turn there, seat one.
Darren has made top pair. Wozza has middle pair and the flush draw. This could also be fireworks. Now, because Wozza had checked out of turn, he cannot raise.
Right.
What, did you want to re-raise, man?
He might want to. Any 9-jack or spade, and Wozza's going to have a big hand. Here's the turn card. And that deuce black, but not big enough. What is Darren Judge thinking about?
I think he's got a bet. He's got to bet. He's got top pair.
He's got a kicker normally seen in crab salads.
I think Wozza's got a. He's got to call it as well. He's getting value.
This is the second hand in a row he's had 9-jack suited, and he's made some big hands with it. He's going for it. A lot of outs here for Warren Mason. He hit it.
He's hit it. He's hit his second pair, Jesse. He's gone to the lead.
Check.
Tooper. Will he bet it or will he check it?
He's got to bet it.
10,000.
That's a good bet. I think he might get a call here. 10,000. There's 54,000 in the pot. 10,000. He might get it. That's a value bet, Jesse.
Very tough for Warren Judge to work this out. How could the jack have made his hand? Is it a flush? Is it a straight?
There's all sorts.
Two pair? Is it a bluff?
Exactly. There's all sorts on there, but I think Darren's got to bet 10,000 to see. There is a flush, there is a straight, and obviously two pair can beat him. And obviously his kicker isn't very good, is it? That's maybe what he's thinking about. He's thinking, okay, have you got a bigger kicker?
Okay.
Yeah, he's getting 5-1 his money. He's got a call.
Judge has paid it off. He's hoping, I think, that Mason has one pair or is bluffing, but it's two pairs, jacks and nines, and nice hand, says Judge. Wozza taking a biggin.
Very gracious in defeat there, Darren.
And Wolverhampton continues its hellacious run. Wozza spiked to the front.
I still can't get over that hand. Roland's gone all in with the top pair, and Callahan's folded his over pair. Can you?
It was amazing stuff. Roland de Wolfe just pretty much saying it there in the second hand only, that he was willing to put his entire tournament on the line in order to get a little bit ahead, and that's what he's done. Yanni Sointula, a little bit steadier. They call him Hellraiser, but he's just jiggling around his first level.
Raise it.
He's not raising much, is he?
6,000.
6,000
Darren's
total.
very aggressive.
Pass.
And he's found a caller in Roland who treats every blind raise like a personal insult. Roland's got the best hand here with the ace.
At the moment he has two nice hands, ace suited and king queen suited.
There's a 13 ball in the center and the flop to come.
King queen of hearts will be interesting.
Well, that's all Roland de Wolfe.
That's a lovely flop for Roland.
Check.
Do you think he's thinking that his kicker might be outkicked, Jesse, Roland?
8,000.
After watching the way Roland played the 9-3, I'm gonna resist the urge to say what he thinks.
I think this is where Roland should have asked the question. I think this is where Roland should have raised him.
Well, Darren Judge must know he's in trouble.
He must do.
It's got nothing to do with this flop. Will Darren file the second bullet?
If he checks, Roland knows he's winning.
Judge has found it going quite rough so far. If he bets,
15.
Is that 15
15,000.
big enough to push Roland off?
Another 3 left.
I don't think so.
Thank you. Call.
De Wolfe not asking the question, he's just calling.
Yeah, he's playing it well. He's playing it very steady.
Well, Darren Judge is drawing dead here and cannot be happy about the proceedings.
Doesn't want to see a king, I know that. Oh, we could get paid off nicely here.
Check. Check.
Well, Darren Judge has enough to check now. The king ended the bluffing. And De Wolfe shows the ace.
I should have pushed it all in there. I think you'd have called in.
That is a question better left to Mystic Warriors. Roland de Wolfe now, the chip leader with 177,000. He hasn't done it with the most spectacular cards in the world, but he's way out in front here.
He's done well, hasn't he? Played 2-1-2, not too bad.
Roland in what poker players call form. He's been playing quite a lot of tournaments lately. And
We're about to get on and watch the World
gambling
Series.
both high and low.
I've already videoed it, yeah.
He says his playing style is very similar to Tony G. That can't be a bad thing, can it? Tony G, a very prolific
What's my
winner.
heat that's on tonight? One of the other tournaments. 79 hands, heads up. Did you win?
Pass.
In this same structure? No.
Pass.
79 hands, heads up in this structure.
Folded around to Darren Judge.
Raise.
And Darren,
6,000 total.
you know, he might have come here with a game plan to play tight the first couple levels, but he's just getting a whole rash of playable hands, isn't he?
Yeah, he's not afraid to stick his chips in.
And they're not super hands. They're kind of those middling hands. Although right now he's
Welcome.
in a great spot.
Welcome. Welcome to the
Queen
game.
Jack versus the Queen 10. Though Sointula is in the middle here. Oh, Queen 9. If the case Queen hits the board, Darren Judge can do a little song and dance.
I can't believe Roland de Wolfe has folded King Jack. He was in the small blind as well. No, they've all missed it, Jesse.
A
Check.
little flush draw for the Judge, though.
Check.
4
Check.
spades,
All
one
check.
more spade. If it comes the 8 of spades, it'll be good night Saigon. But that
Check.
10 hit Mason. And Darren Judge might regret checking his flush draw on the flop.
15,000.
Wozza looks to be his bogeyman.
Yeah, I think he's going to get a call here from Wozza.
Look at Yanni
At least.
Sointula.
Call.
His eyes are everywhere. And this
Pass.
man, Yanni the Finn, can really play some cards. Darren Judge needs to hit a jack or a spade. Anything else and he'll be gasping.
10 of spades would make it interesting.
Will he fire?
It's not going his way at the moment, is it?
There's 49,000 out there. And can Darren Judge work out what he's up against?
I'll check it.
Check.
Good idea.
Check and declare.
Wozza happy to show it down. He wasn't going anywhere, was he?
No, he wasn't going anywhere. Darren, if Darren would have bet, Wozza would have called him.
So the 10 on the turn gives Warren Mason the hand. And Darren Judge saying to himself, why didn't I bet on the flop? Let's check out the ranking of hands. Each 5-card poker hand falls into the official ranking of poker hands. Bottom of the ladder is high card only. A pair just above that, and 2 pair is higher still. 3 of a kind is 3 of a number, a straight. 5 cards in a row of any suit. A flush is 5 cards of the same suit in any order. Full house, 3 of a kind plus a pair. 4 of a kind is self-explanatory, and a straight flush is 5 cards all in a row of the same suit. Royal flush is top of the pops. That's a straight flush, ace high. Darren Judge in a position where he's actually got some time to try and get his chips in the right position, doesn't he?
Exactly. Just pick the right time with a good hand.
No sense panicking. There's still $360,000 in the prize pool. That hasn't changed.
Cool.
The only thing that's changed
Call.
is the applied odds. Wow.
Yeah.
Call.
Taxi Dave.
Raised all in.
Just limping in. That's Nile Callahan's hand, but Darren Judge has moved.
18,000 more.
And he is
20
definitely
total.
going to get called.
18 to call.
Definitely going to get called here.
Pass.
The question is, what is Dave going to do? Is he going to re-raise?
I mean, we literally said 2 minutes ago, didn't we, Jesse?
Yes.
Be patient, Darren, be patient. You don't need to panic yet.
19 to
Don't
9.
panic.
Yeah, got another 8. That's
And
it.
unfortunately, he's moved all in on the wrong hand.
Well, Taxi Dave won't be joining the taxi. It's
Cool,
easy.
yeah, when I get ace king.
It's worse than that. 2 cowboys for David Stanbridge and Darren Judge in a very tough position.
I've had worse bad beats than this, let me tell you.
You'll need some lady luck to win this one. Well, there's one of his outs.
Running spades or any jack right now for Darren Judge. There's 44,000 in the pot, so
Where's my pulse gone?
we wouldn't mind
You
seeing
can
it.
afford it, it's not going to hurt you.
It's a full house. Still needs a jack.
Just a jack, yeah?
Yeah,
Jack's on the floor.
Here's
Oh,
the
no,
river.
I'm doing dick.
Kings.
No, jacks is good.
No, it's all over.
First play.
Okay.
And
Come
the
on, boys.
deuce, the full house, no good. Darren Judge first off the train.
Feel sorry for him, Jesse. Never really got going. Had those middling hands, didn't hit the flops, and unfortunately he's made the move of all in at the wrong time.
The last time Darren Judge thought he sensed weakness, he moved, but Standbridge holding the cowboys, and 5s full of kings beating 5s full of jacks, out with a house.
Darren, don't walk under any ladders on the way home. It seemed like nothing went right tonight.
No, I must admit I bluffed all my chips off, and I felt pretty confident going in, but nothing happened for me tonight, and I just sort of just couldn't get into it, and everything just seemed to go wrong. It's probably the worst performance, especially on TV.
One knockout, 5 left, and from all over, the party's on here. Someone's gonna come out on top. Seat open, table 1. Chair empty on the edge of the table, and that was occupied by Darren Judge, but 5 left now. And it is Roland de Wolfe out in front, but a couple others have made some headway. And Nile Callahan now the short stack on the button. Do you think Niall can regroup here?
Yeah, he's got loads of chips. Considering the blinds are still very low, I know I keep going on about this, but no need to panic when the blinds are so low. You just don't need to.
I pass.
To worry about it. He's got 58,000, so I'm not going to eat him up. Just yet.
Fine.
The raise was to 8,000, called by Wozza with a littler ace, but there's a lot of split pots out here, and here's the flop. Basically, they've got the same hand.
Yep. Unless one of them hits their kicker, they've got the same hand.
Nile Callahan not betting that flop.
The 6 still plays though, doesn't it? With that 5 on the board.
And there is 18,000 out there.
12,000.
Nile Callahan has just stuck in nearly a third of his remaining stack.
Pass.
It's a good bet.
Takes him the pot.
A good bet is a winning one.
So Callahan not counting himself out. It's tough sometimes for grouping. You know, he folded those queens earlier, and he probably still doesn't know. You know, if they were good or they're bad. Does that nag at you? And you just have to kind of put it out of your head, don't you?
You have to put it out of your head. He has to move on now. It's probably still in his head. He's thinking, should I have called? Should I have called? But if he starts building his chips up again, he gets more confidence, and he thinks, I think I made the right decision. I'm back in this.
Yeah, Niall never on TV before, with plenty of tournament experience. Plays regularly at the Fitzwilliam Club in Dublin, which has become a hotbed of poker talent. Taxi Dave here. David Stanbridge folding up shop.
Pass.
Around to the button. And Wozza getting straight into action. Raise it, he says.
Yeah, it's a good move.
12,000 total.
It's always good to have a good hand on the button.
Roland de Wolfe carefully followed the chips into the pot with a queen 9. And he's going to peel off a flop. Not what you want to be taking on the ace-queen with.
No, he doesn't know how much trouble he is in at the moment.
Pass.
Sointula lays down his ace, and this is head up, button in the small blind. Action will be on de Wolfe when the flop comes down. All clubs.
I think Yanni's probably ruined the fact he folded there. He had the ace of clubs.
De Wolfe looks like he's come out betting here.
12,000.
He's got absolutely nothing. No pair, no draw. And neither does Warren Mason. But you cannot stop Wozza.
Roland's going to be a little bit worried that he's just a flat call, especially that ace. He's never going to get rid of Wozza now. Never.
No, that was Warren's bingo card.
Check.
Big time.
Check.
Whatever comes on the river now, Wozza will bet. Whatever Roland bets.
What if it comes a club?
Oh,
it has.
it's come a club. And it's a queen. 2 pair.
Check.
Roland de Wolfe backs off the bluff.
Check time.
And the top 2 pair for Mason, but there are 4 clubs on board.
If you got a club, you win.
Ace off.
He says if you got a club, you win. But the ace-queen, good enough. And Warren Mason, that was a nice little call he made on the flop there.
It was a nice call. He wasn't frightened by that whatsoever. It was a good bet by Roland, you know?
I'll tell you what, yeah.
He asked the question. We talked about asking questions. He asked the question of Wozza, and Wozza answered his question. And Roland knew he was losing as soon as Wozza called him.
So de Wolfe been very unorthodox tonight. You don't read about his hand selection in any books, but it's been working for him. And de Wolfe still in good chip position, but I believe Wozza Mason has taken over the chip lead. Callahan.
Pass.
I tell you, for some of these players, sometimes it seems better
Raise to 8,000
not to
total.
pick up any
Pass.
hands early on.
That's right.
You know, until you settle in. I mean, I think Darren Judge was a little bit
Pass.
surprised by the rash of hands. Well, Callahan certainly was. Roland de Wolfe finally finds a hand he can show. Tell you what.
Goes to show, look lads, I'm not bluffing, I may be raising a few times. You know, I'm getting the cards. What do you want me to do?
We'll just show the ace queens while he's waiting for the 9-3.
How was that? I'm glad I never come over the top.
Okay,
Obviously not a hand to come over the top with.
You never know.
Still in the first
Sure,
level
right.
here. We've played 15 hands and had plenty of action, but these guys are playing speedy poker. That's not speed poker, but it is speedy.
Call.
Cool.
Call.
Thank God they're not wearing
Pass.
Speedos.
Call.
4 limpids.
Raise.
It's two players in the blinds here for 2,000 each, and Nile Callahan with the only ace out.
I don't see why he didn't raise that. He's on the big blind, he's got an ace, everyone's just limped in. Put in a raise. Now he doesn't know where he is on the flop.
I'll tell you where he is checking.
That's exactly where he is. People have caught up and overtaken him.
Action on Dave Stanbridge first, who's got a middle pair. There are 3 hearts out there. He's not going to like it.
Check.
Warren
Check.
Mason, the best heart, and the bottom pair.
10,000.
And that may just end this nonsense.
Pass.
There was a very good disciplined fold by Roland there. Yeah, the Jack of Hearts, which could have been a nice hand to have if heart comes on the turn. But he's folded.
Stanbridge, the best hand at this juncture, but the fold there. I mean, that's kind of one of those things. Nothing invested, small pot. Let's just give it up and go on to the next one.
Exactly, let's give it up. We've only put 2,000 each. What's the point? Let's move on.
4,000. Wozza on top of the plaza here. 174,000. He's won the most hands, played the most. And Taxi Dave and Yanni Sointula tight this first level. In fact, both Yanni Sointula and David Stanbridge have only played 1 hand apiece. And
Raise.
this is the kind of
10,000
tournament where
total.
if you increase the number of hands you play every level, it's not a bad rule of thumb, is it?
No, not a bad roll at all.
Fold. Fold.
Yanni getting right into action with the King 7.
Call.
And Warren Mason determined to get the most out of most value out of his tournament dollar.
Well, he doesn't know how much bad trouble he's in, Warren.
Yeah, if the King comes, he is in Shootsville. They've both missed the flop. And we'll see if Wozza has that aggression.
Check.
I think Yanni's got a bet here, yeah. He'll take the pot here.
10,000.
Sointula of the if I can raise, I can bet the flop no matter what school.
Exactly.
And he's basically had no cards yet this tournament, but he's won 2 pots and finds himself with more than he started with.
Do you think he's just getting too much respect from the other players? You know, I do like to see check raises in this position, whether you've got the good hands or not.
Wouldn't you respect that man? Look at him.
Probably yes.
They don't call him Hellraiser for nothing. He's terrifying.
Yeah.
From Dublin.
You should see him when he gets drinking. No, I mean, Yanni's played with some of the best. And,
Did you play in the tournament last month?
Seems very focused, doesn't it?
No, I didn't actually.
Maybe that's just his normal look, who knows?
Fold.
Right.
Raise.
8,000.
8,000 total.
Big enough hand for David Stanbridge.
Fold.
And
Raise.
re-raise announced by Wozza Mason.
Oh, he's making a move with his Jack 8 suited.
Another 8.
Certainly
16
is.
total.
It's not a huge raise. It's almost the kind of raise that's
Oh.
inviting action.
Exactly.
I wonder what David is going to think about this.
I think he's just got a flat call.
I mean, if he puts that, thinks that Mason may have ace-king, he's really in trouble, isn't he?
Yep. He's not getting bad value. It's only another 8,000. He's getting about 3 to 1 his money. So stick it in. Oh, he's folded. Well, I'm very surprised. Very, very surprised.
Well, it was a very suspicious raise, isn't it? I mean, you know, it's almost like if the ace flops, then where is he? He may still be behind.
Yeah, it's a good bet. It's a very good bet by Wozza. He's done well though.
Jack 8 of spades. The re-raise takes the pot, and everything going Wozza's way here. Wolverhampton just winging it. 176,000.
There's been a few of the lads from Wolverhampton played recently. Unfortunately, have had the bridesmaids position, so maybe Wozza can turn the tables here and do it for the Midlands boys.
Wow, they're making a complete sham with the professional poker players at this tournament. Wozza's only been played 2 months, but that was a sort of a very professional move.
It was a very professional move. He got the utmost respect from Dave there.
And Stanbridge has had all he can stand. Limping in now, 10-6 of spades. We are 4-way. Mason in on the button. The blinds are happy to play. And just 4 limp-ins here. 16,000 in the pot. It's getting a bit sturdy.
3 of them have got a 10. The one remaining 10 on the flop would be very interesting. Nope. Oh, that's a huge flop for Warren, isn't it?
It really is.
Oh, he's checked it. Well done.
3/8, and he's slow
Well
playing.
done.
Well, sneaky is and does. A 7 would have made a straight for Taxi Dave, but that 3 has hit Roland de Wolfe.
6,000.
And it's not a big bet, but it will probably get the desired result, which is information.
Now, will Yanni Sointula make a move here and raise? He's capable of doing this sort of thing. Is he thinking? No.
Fold.
It's folded.
Stanbridge out, and is Warren Mason about to put the hammer down?
I think he should just flat call.
Raise. 6 more. 12 total.
He's not going to get any more out of de Wolfe. De Wolfe's asked the question, and he's been given the answer. He's going to do a little bit of acting here and think, maybe my hand is losing.
That's what I bet.
I think Roland de Wolfe wants Warren Mason to show his hand, but Wozza does not do. Showing cards without the looking price being paid, and he continues his run. He's hitting flops. He's making pops. He's finding all going his way. I tell you, winning hands from the blinds. It's one of it's like bonus money. It's like finding money in the street, isn't it?
Exactly. And when someone's got King Jack or Ace Queen or King 10 or some kind of medium hands and they don't raise, that's what happens. They get outdrawn.
Roland de Wolfe, he is eagle-eyed, following every part of Warren Mason. And this is the second time he's done this kind of play to a Warren Mason limp-in. Yanni having to think about it. It's almost like Yanni knows exactly what's happening. Mason with a far better hand, King 4, against the 5-8, but de Wolfe is the aggressor.
Well, they've both missed that completely.
15,000.
Hasn't stopped de Wolfe.
Fold.
And just eating a little bit into it chips. He just picked up that pot with nothing.
That's a point where you sometimes think, right, I'm going to raise it here with nothing, and I'm going to bet on the flop no matter what. And that's what Roland's decided to do. He's done that a few times now, and his strategy's worked. He's had absolutely terrible cold cards, but yet he's won a few pots purely through aggression. And this table's become quite passive, to be honest. There's not much aggression going on. There's no check raising going on. Maybe it'll warm up. I don't know.
3 players of the 5 have above 100,000. Nile Callahan, 2,000 in the small. Action on the edge, quickly folded. Passed around to the flying fin.
Raise.
Raise 10,000 total.
Cool.
Quick
Fold.
call from David Stanbridge.
Fold. Fold.
It's a big bet, 10,000.
It is. But 8, 9 of diamonds. Nice medium connectors.
Yeah, David's got position here. Taxi Dave suited connectors and the button.
And he's at top pair.
Sure has.
Top pair with inside straight draw.
Well, he could put some pain to Yanni
14,000.
Sointula here.
Yeah, he's going to raise it. Here.
14 with 20.
He's got to ask a
14,
question here.
20. 34 total.
It's a great bet from Dave. He's asking a question here.
And Stanbridge still counting out the raise. Sointula's cards
Good
are in
fold,
the muck.
Yeah,
Yeah, he said save some time.
I'm
You
not
take
hating
the
it,
pot,
you
Dave.
know?
I'll tell you what, we've seen a couple heats in this partypoker.net European Open tournament already where players have been quite straight, playing conservative. Not here. 5 guys, and they're all.
Not another hand on the button, surely not.
Capable of playing lots of things, although Niall
Raised.
playing a little straighter than the rest of them, and the ace on the button, making the raise.
Fold.
Roland made a comment and said, if you raise my big blind again, I'll come over the top. What's he done? He's folded.
Threat bet. But O'Callahan matched up here against Warren, who's looking for the king. He's got an up and down straight draw, though. And the ace high is still good. See what O'Callahan decides to do.
Yeah, he's got to bet it. Is he aggressor? He's got to bet it.
It'd be hard to see Warren giving this up. Will he call? Will he raise?
I think he might call this. Yeah, he's reaching for his chips. 16,000 is just enough for him to see another card.
Any 3, any 8. A king, also good for Wozza. That 5 keeping the ace high good. And interesting to see.
Check. Check.
Oh, Nile Callahan, Niall, all of a sudden a bit worried. That came in the nick of time.
That'll help him out. He'll be a lot happier about that.
Check.
There's 60,000 in there.
Check.
And Niall is delighted to be able to check it on the river,
Yeah.
showing the ace down, which was good anyway. But
Thought you had ace king there and you turned up.
The only thing about Warren Wozza calling with the to hit the straight was if he did hit the 3, then he was drawing at the wrong end of the straight, Jesse.
interesting to see when the big break is going to come here. Do you think we're going to see a couple big hands collide, or is it going to be some people getting too fruity?
10,000 more, 16 total.
With something like ace 3 suited, Sointula has stuck in 16,000, and Nile O'Callahan has got him dominated here.
I think he's got to call this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Call.
That's what he has done. O'Callahan would love to see the ace right now. What does he do if they miss the flop? Wozza coming along for the ride.
Wozza's coming along for the ride, Jesse. He wants a part of this. He wants to see flops.
Do you feel a couple of deuces coming out here?
Yeah, or a couple of kings. Oh, the one remaining ace.
Yeah, that's true. And O'Callahan, top pair. Does he like his kicker?
Check. 16,000.
Yanni Sointula could get himself in big trouble here.
Huge trouble. It's not odds on for it to be a split pot either.
32.
Raised.
This is where he's asked a question. This is a great play. He's asked a question early, rather than doing it on the turn or the river where could you lose a hell of a lot. He's asked the question now.
What is he going to do if Yanni pushes in? Yanni's in trouble here.
He's in big trouble.
Can he get away?
Call.
This pot's big. Neither one has a huge hand, although Callahan's kicker plays. He's in good shape. He'd love to see the 9.
Love to see a 9. Oh, that's got to be a scare card
Check.
from both.
Check.
Check. Right, checked.
It's-
A king, a queen, a jack, a 10. Those are all split cards. So is a 6.
Oh, it's a split pot. Hard luck, Niall. It's a split pot.
Sure is.
Or is it,
Fine.
Jesse? He could take the pot here and now.
That's a beautiful bet. Does he know where he's at? Does he know he's ahead?
Well, yeah.
Does he know he's...
42,000 total.
Yanni's got to think. Right. Now, he raised me on the flop, so he's got to have an ace. Now, has he got ace queen? Has he got ace king? Because they're the only 2 hands that can beat me. Don't worry about the jack, because this could be a split pot. If he's got ace 10, it's a split pot. He's called him. Good call.
Wow, Sointula worked it out.
Yeah, he worked it out. Perfect. Perfectly worked out.
Niall showed it. He wasn't sure. They'll both breathe a huge sigh of relief. I'll tell you what. Dancing in the danger zone. Nile Callahan, Yanni Sointula clashed there. Both hit the pair of aces. The kicker was good until the river. Same hand, aces and jacks with the queen. Chop her up. So a lot of action, all for
Yes.
Warren Mason's 16,000, and around to Stanbridge and Taxi
20,000.
Dave.
Raise.
He's been playing big
20,000.
hands. Quite delighted to see the ace queen, I imagine.
Total.
Oh,
Call.
Callahan
Very,
and he's dominated here.
very quick call there from Niall.
He's got the button.
Call.
And Wozza wants a bit of it as well. I'm coming along for the ride, baby. Belt me up, hook me in, slam that door shut. I'm there with you.
It's 14,000 for Roland de Wolfe, and his cards are very live here.
Very live.
He really wanted to call.
He-
It was just too big a pot.
Yeah. It was a 66,000 pot. You know, he was getting about 4 to 1 his money, 5 to 1 his money. He's dying to see a flop with those cards.
It is Stanbridge, though, who's hit it front and center.
Check.
Top pair with the big kicker.
20,000.
That'll probably end this.
Yeah, that'll be enough to win it here.
Pass.
Tell you what, you could have thought of some flops where all 3 of them would have just put their chips in like wildfire. But as it is,
Pass.
top pair on board, only ace out, and Taxi Dave takes a big one.
Yeah.
That is going to put him in a strong
No.
position.
A7.
You can get the meter running,
I
because Dave may be here a while.
Roland would have had an up and down straight draw. So David Stanbridge is top of the leaderboard with 149,000. Warren Mason, who's won twice as many hands, is in second, only 10,000 behind. And Nile Callahan, who's dropped down to 5th place.
$6,000 is the big blind. And your new chip leader, Healthy and Hale, checking his cards out before passing them
Pass.
Oh,
20.
wow.
Raise to 20,000
What a
total.
great...
Well, this is the first big hand Niall has seen in a while, and he's going to get Warren Mason coming along for the ride.
He's coming along for the ride. Oh, Jesse. We've got kings and aces.
We raise all in.
Well, I think it's safe to say that's the end of Nile Callahan. Big push from Roland de Wolfe.
Wow, we're going to get a call from Nile Callahan here.
Pocket rockets.
Okay, Jesse, 20s.
Wow. Roland de Wolfe must think his birthday has come round and Christmas all at once.
And Wozza still has cards.
Get out of there, Wozza. You've no right to be in there. Just let the big boys take it down now.
Kings versus aces. One of de Wolfe's aces are out. I can't imagine Wozza calling this up to massive 81,000.
No way. You can't call this. God, I was in such bad trouble.
81 to call.
You can't call this Wozza. Oh, Wozza! Oh, Wozza.
Oh, my.
Seat 2 aces.
I can't believe he's called.
Seat 5 kings.
I can't believe he's called. This is a huge pot, Jesse. 286,000 in the middle.
I'll tell you what, if the ace-5 of diamonds wins this pot, it's going to be one of the biggest upsets in the history of Texas Hold'em.
This is absolutely
Nile
huge.
Callahan is all in. He needs a king. He needs a king.
58, I think it was.
I can't do any more.
Warren Mason needs a couple fives or diamonds. And de Wolfe just saying hold him. He's got a chance to get half the chips in play on this coup.
I'm going to put a tenner on diamonds coming down. I can just sense it. No, hearts.
Nothing for anyone. That is a perfect flop for de Wolfe.
Perfect.
Heart would get. Nile Callahan had a trouble.
He wants a 7 here or a 4 for the ace-5, just to give him a few more outs.
Here's the turn. O'Callahan still hoping for the king. That has done Warren Mason. He's drawn dead in this pot now.
He's drawn dead.
And Nile O'Callahan is drawing thin.
2 cards can only help him here.
And ace is up. Hold up.
Okay, seat 2 to take every pot.
A huge pot
What a shot.
for Roland de Wolfe. And that has really
81,000.
put the custard on top of this table, and it is Nile Callahan out in 5th place.
Sure, 81,000 plus 60.
That was an absolutely massive pot for Roland de Wolfe. He has now got nearly half the chips, 286,000. Old Wozza is down to 4th with 38,000.
The eyes have it. 4 are left, and a comb over will come over. Someone needs some luck. Welcome back. It's late night here from the boudoir of poker on the partypoker.com European Open.
Pass. Pass. Call.
Okay.
No raise.
No, okay.
King high for Warren. And a couple suited boys for de Wolfe.
Oh, that's a lovely flop. He could get paid out here as well, you know, if he checks this.
25,000.
Well done.
Well done. That's the best way to have played that.
Warren Mason is on here,
Yeah.
and he'll be doubling up unless Roland de Wolfe hits a 6. Very strong hand. And this is the sneakiest play Wozza Mason has made this evening, and it looks to be very successful.
Yeah, played it very well. Played it very, very well. There's only 2 cards that can save to knock him out now. He's looking pretty good. 2 cards.
Sick.
Kings and 8s hold up, and Warren Mason wounded but not out and doubled through now. He's near 50,000. One more double through. He'll be back where he started.
Exactly.
What a ride he's been on.
And then
the 2 and the 5 coming.
Roland asked a question of
In the
him,
World Series.
and he had the goods.
First hand,
It was a good check.
Sammy Faha, and had ace 10, and another guy had pocket 10s, and it came ace 10. He doubled out first time.
Pass.
He's going to get those chips right back into action. Raise from Wozza
You
Mason.
return your set, so we'll go with 13, yeah? Alright.
It's a nice hand to have on the button.
Call.
De Wolfe
Seven
has
to
him
call.
out-kicked here. Queen, Jack, Jack 10. But the Jack 10 suited has sort of a more appealing ring to it.
Oh, that's a lovely hand to have in the big blind, isn't it? 2 callers behind you. Are we going to see an all-in here, Jesse?
I guess Yanni's got a couple ways to play this. He won't expect to be losing.
All in.
Yeah, that's the only way to play this one.
Raised all in.
Doesn't want to see a flop. Any 10, Jack, Queen, King raise comes on the flop. Doesn't know where he is.
Call and a pass.
Yanni Sointula's got it head up, and it's a coin flip here. Pair against the 2 over cards. Although 1 Jack is down. And Mason's in the best spot he's been in for quite some time. If he can win this pot, then he'll have over 100,000 again.
Take it on now. No, I'd have it.
What do you have? King, Queen.
Mason, Jack or 10? There's the 10.
There's a 10.
This game's on.
It's 2 more cards. He's praying no 9, no 9, no 9, no 9.
Turn and the river. Only 2 cards in the deck, and one of them did not hit.
He's doubled up again, Jesse.
He certainly has. Warren Mason, who was really on the edge of destruction now, back to 100,000, and that has taken a lump from Yanni Sointula's stack. And looking at the pie here, Michael Greco, it's only Roland de Wolfe who's in fine shape.
Yeah, Mason's back in this, you know. He's not far behind the second. He's doubled through twice. It's amazing how you can come back from the dead.
Just goes to show you what's possible in poker.
At 1 point.
Pass. Raised to 21,000 total.
Jack 7 suited for Roland, 6 plus 15. Yanni had been strong with, ooh.
Oh, another all-in here, do you think? No, just a flat call.
Call.
He's up against a chip leader, so maybe that's the thing that's holding him back.
Pass.
Yeah, a bit of a different sort of look from Yanni Sointula. And here comes the flop. Flush draw
Check.
for Roland.
Check. Both checked.
Roland would love to hit a spade now. He's playing it very cagey.
Check. Check. Both checked.
I think that's respect for each other here.
It's interesting. King High winning. And King High
Check.
good.
King high, very good.
10,000.
Oh, that's an interesting bet.
It's a little teaser for a bit, isn't it? He's like, I want a call. It's one of those I want a call bets. Come on, Yanni, call me. It's only 10,000, mate. Stick it in. 10,000. 10,000 to win 58,000. Come on. Look at him, look at him, look.
Roland does have those probing eyes.
He obviously doesn't want a call. If he gets a call, he knows he's lost. But he's trying to give the impression that he wants a call.
Sointula has about 85,000 in front of him. There's 58,000 in the pot.
He's getting 6 to 1 in his money. He's got a call. Of course, he can only lose to a better hand, but...
Yeah. I just can't beat anything.
Pardon?
I can't beat anything. It's a gift.
Oh, what a call.
It's a gift of a call, that's what it is. Great call. Great call.
It's really interesting.
Just bet the flop. Bet the last row.
Wow, that's a hard needle to have. Because you should have bet the flop. But Sointula, it's really interesting pot there. I mean, it could have gone a lot differently. As Yanni said, if Roland had bet the flop, he would have won. That has put Sointula back in the lap of the gods.
What you're gonna call a raise with a...
Raise. It's 20,000 total.
He's a raising machine, isn't he? He's not going to give up.
Hasn't slowed Roland down a bit.
Pass.
Wow, strong
Re-raised
play by
Roland.
David Stanbridge. He got
Pass.
re-raised once before with this hand. This time he's got the money in first. And that should be enough to get the wolf off the hand.
It will be. Queen 10 of hearts, he knows he's losing. It will make a huge dent in the stack if he calls this and loses. Another 100,000 more.
Okay,
It's
106
nearly an
more.
even gamble, although the ace is ahead. But is Roland in the mood to do that? And does he have any idea what he's up against?
He's counting out the chips, but we know, and the people back home know, he's not going to call this.
David Stanbridge has made a very strong play. And the truth is, the more Roland thinks about it, I have to imagine, the more Stanbridge is worried that his ace might be out-kicked, which would be a terrible situation for him.
It would, but if I was in Dave's shoes, the more Roland counts out and pauses and thinks about it, the more I think I'm winning. He's not going to call this. One, he's not getting odds, and he knows he's losing.
Well, the situation is that Roland will have about 100,000 left if he calls and
106
loses.
more.
106.
If he folds, he'll have about 200,000.
You wanna call?
He's only put 20,000 in, Jesse. He's not committed to it. Let it go. Let it go, Roland. You know you're not going to call.
Make it an even game if I win.
Stanbridge up for the challenge. He's giving the stick right back.
He's lost the last few pots, Roland, with his raises, and he's probably feeling a little bit hurt. And this time he's got to let it go again. He knows sense makes him... sense will prevail, I guarantee you.
He's taking his time with these.
Yeah, he's making Dave sweat.
Got 30 seconds.
Dave knows if he's up against ace queen, ace king, Roland would have called him straight away.
Cool.
Oh, he's called him!
Wow,
Gotta win this thing.
He's called him! I'm absolutely...
it's a heck of a gamble. The Wolf must have worked out. He wasn't against aces or kings. It still seems like an awful strange call, but he's not. He mathematically.
You have to win, you have to come first.
Mathematically, he had the odds, I guess. He's not that far behind. I think it's about 60-40, 54-46, something like that. Then that's a good flop for the ace. Stanbridge all in and in a strong position right now to make the big double through and be the chip leader.
Dave's saying, just give me an ace just to wrap it up. Give me an ace just to wrap this up, then he'll have no outs.
Not a good flop for de Wolfe. That has given Roland a couple of split pot outs. 5 would split it up.
Nope.
Is in front.
Nothing.
Oh, yeah.
I did not make a move.
And a bit reckless, you think, Michael, now?
Definitely a bit reckless. I might be wrong. He wasn't committed to the pot. He's just got 250,000 chips in front of him. And he's gambling. Okay. I don't know.
Roland de Wolfe took a big roll of the dice there. Is it mad? Was it smart? In any case, it's Taxi Dave, the new chip leader, and his heart will flutter, but the taxi can remain parked. Roland de Wolfe running his fingers through his hair, shaking his head, holding his chin. And the blinds have just gone up to 5 and 10,000. And de Wolfe, was it needless, Michael Greco? He's on a short stack now, and
I mean, I don't want to say I'm not, you know, if Roland watches this back and I'm saying it's a bad call, then who am I to say? I personally wouldn't have called. I would have kept hold of my chips, let it go, moved on.
20 more, 32.
a new voice from Wozza Mason. And quick call in from Roland de Wolfe. He's wasted no time.
I think he will get a call here, Jesse.
I think you're right.
I
Not from Standbridge.
Not from Stanbridge. But I can guarantee Mason called an all-in with ace-5 of diamonds. What's going to make him stop his all-in with king, queen of diamonds?
Well, if Taxi Dave calls this hand, then you have to imagine that the players have been told that winning this tournament gets you a walk down the gangplank or something, because you've never seen people try and give away chips so fast.
Yeah, I think Mason's going to call this. He's going to gamble.
Oh, he's calling.
Oh, cool.
Call.
That was nailed on odds on, wasn't it? Nailed on. He's not in bad shape at all, you know. He's losing, but he's not in bad shape.
So de Wolfe, who only 2 hands ago was a runaway chip leader, is now 5 cards from Frailsville. He's in the lead, and that is a huge card for him. It's Warren Mason now. Wozza, who looks like he'll be taking the long walk.
Doesn't want to see a diamond here, Roland. Any other card. No, it's drawing dead.
Yeah,
It's all over.
Wolverhampton's out.
Hard luck, mate. Hard luck.
And that queen, a bit of a kick in the pants. Lower pair, 2 queens out, and Warren Mason, who got himself back in this after being catapulted out, is our 4th place finisher. That last pot, some pretty hands in the blinds there, and it was a telling pot for both of them. But the aces beating the queens, and de Wolfe, who was playing this game on a pogo stick, finds himself temporarily up high. Trees tripping through this tropical setting of red and blue trips. And it is Taxi Dave on top and on the button, stuck between the stands.
Fold.
I play a pot with Mr.
Call.
And
Raise.
2 titans of the game, taking it on the chin here, 10 by 10.
No raise.
And what's Sointula up to? He's found an ace and not pushed.
No. Interesting. It's paid off this time.
Check. 15,000. Call.
And the only thing Roland can be calling for is to bluff later.
Yes, definitely. He doesn't think Yanni's got the ace because he didn't raise pre-flop.
Check.
This is when it does work. When you don't raise with your ace pre-flop, you hit it, and they don't put you on it.
What does Yanni think that Roland has? Is he trying to induce a bluff? He's just going to go all in?
He's virtually all in now with that bet.
50,000.
A big bet.
Huge bet.
And Roland will have to really back his judgment to the hilt if he wants to make a move here. It'll cost him everything, and he'll be far wrong.
I think the 10 might save him. I don't think he puts Yanni on an ace because he didn't raise him pre-flop, or maybe he limped him with a big ace. But seeing the 10, he might be thinking he's losing to a 10 at least.
It was an odd call by de Wolfe. He's hit his pair.
He's called him.
Wow.
Oh.
He must think Sointula's bluffing.
He must think he's bluffing.
A jack or 8 would get Roland out of trouble here. This pot's big. Bigger than it should be.
Sointula doesn't like it either, does he? Does not like the fact he's been called.
Well, how could he?
Check.
Yanni's looking at his chips. He's looking at the pot. He'd much rather have the pot than his chips, that's for sure.
How much?
And if Roland de Wolfe calls with a pair of 8s here,
In for 63.
he is going to be a sorry camper.
I think he's going to call him, you know. There's 150,000 in the pot. It's the bet is 63.
Didn't like the river. At all.
What about the flop, Roland?
Does he think that? He says he thinks Yanni might have a queen.
Cool. It's going to make a huge dent into his stack.
Dent? I think it may make a bash. A what? It's going to cave his head in. He's already in deep. This pot's 213,000.
This is a huge pot.
I mean, de Wolfe plays a game on the edge, but my lord.
No, good fold.
Oh.
And Yanni showed the ace, and that will really make Roland feel big as a mushroom. Sointula, just a simple little check before the flop has got him a massive, massive payoff.
That's the one time we have seen this tournament where someone has limped in with their ace and they've actually hit the flop and they got paid out. Most of the time we've seen someone being outdrawn with their ace. But he played it well. Played it very, very well.
Wow. And that has really hurt Roland de Wolfe. He's switched positions to Yanni Sointula.
Yeah, definitely.
De Wolfe now, he's basically down to all in.
Fold.
He's got 100 and something thousand, but Sointula in a very strong position all of a sudden.
Raise. 15 more.
And sticking the chips right back
25
in.
total.
Taxi Dave, who was watching those proceedings with heavy interest, is going to peel off a flop here with a better hand.
Yeah, he's not going to be bullied out.
He was even laying a price there. Nice flop for Hellraiser. Top pair. Dave's eyes are on Yanni's hands and chips as they follow into the pot.
35,000.
Does he believe?
Whether he believes or not, he's got to think he's losing. It's not just the 35,000 now, it's what comes afterwards. Give it up, Dave. He's got to give it up. He can't call this. He's either got to fold or he's got to re-raise.
Looking at his chips, looking at Yanni, looking at the cards. And he finally has just decided to give it up. He really suspects thievery. As it is, the thievery stopped when the top pair came down. And Hellraiser, with that pot, the new chip leader. Well, the full moon is out and 3 are rising. Roland, Yanni, and Taxi Dave looking up to the sky. What's in store?
If I had to stick my neck out, my pre-tournament favourite was Yanni.
Right.
Raise.
20,000.
Taxi Dave
20,000 total.
finds the bullet, loads, cocks, and fires. And a total of 30,000.
Call.
Three-way action on the flop.
Wow, what a flop for Roland. What a flop.
Check.
You wouldn't mind having a 5-6 right now. That's exactly what de Wolfe has, and it's Sointula who has the third best hand right now, putting out 40,000. He may get Dave Stanbridge off this.
Well, he's got bottom pair.
Look at Sointula here.
Oh, he's gone all in. Wow.
What's Roland de Wolfe gonna do?
I think Roland was going to go all in himself.
Wow, Stanbridge may have made the only move that could have won him this pot.
Roland can't call this now.
He knows he's got the straight draw.
He's called it. He's absolutely called it. Wow.
And Yanni's thinking, what did I start?
What did I start?
Maybe 10 is not good.
Wow.
Overpair.
Oh, he's in bad shape, Dave. He needs a 4 or an ace.
He's in terrible shape. Stanbridge made a beautiful move. Where did de Wolfe find the call here? He must have thought he was up against a big hand.
I think he was going to go all in whether Standbridge had done it or not. So he's decided to make a stand. It's a great move. It's a great move from Roland.
I think it is de Wolfe all in, although there's not much between them.
Someone's going to be a huge chip leader. I know that, Jesse. He's got more outs. He's got so many more cards to hit now as Roland to win this.
Yeah, well, it's really just taken away the 4 hearts from Stanbridge. And the 5s have won it.
He's all down but not out. I think he's down to about 9,000.
David Stanbridge got his chips in. Got knocked down to 9,000. It's a very thin orange line.
Call.
If Stanbridge folds here, then he'll have to win about 6 pots just to get to where he would be.
All in.
If he wins this one.
Well, the guys know that 2 against 1
No, put 5.
there's more chance of...
Call. Still side action.
Oh, he's got an ace queen, Jesse.
Very nice.
Very
And there's
nice.
57,000 in the pot. Well, there is some life in the old dog yet.
Oh,
Stanbridge
yes.
would love to see an ace here.
An ace or a queen would go down nicely. Thank you very much. Oh,
That 10 has hit both de Wolfe and Sointula.
Check out him.
I think they're just going to check this down. Oh, no.
34,000.
Cool.
Roland's kind of looking ahead, going, "Come on, should we just check this down? Come on."
Yanni Sointula says, no way.
No way,
I've
I'm
got the
taking this
best
pot.
hand."
And then Roland's going, "Actually, you know what? I've got top pair as well. So if you want to play at this, let's play at this. Bring it on."
That might have scared Yanni, though. He may think he's behind.
Mm.
It is Stanbridge all in, though. He needs an ace or a queen.
Oh.
Okay.
Check, check. They checked.
Here's the river. A jack, an ace.
Oh!
That has not hit Stanbridge. It's made Yanni Sointula a straight.
4,000. Pass.
Yeah.
Side pot.
And that is the end for David Stanbridge.
Hard luck, Dave. Hard luck. You hit your
Not need
card
to
on
hit
the
his
end.
pair.
Maybe more.
He's hit his card on the end, but unfortunately it's made Yanni Sointula the straight.
Queen's okay. Good luck. Good play. Thanks. Good play.
Very gracious in defeat there. Dave from the Big Slick Poker Devils, very gracious in defeat.
Thank you. Cheers. Thanks a lot.
2 left. Roll on de Wolfe. Let's raise some hell. There's going to be some bluffing going on. 1 pair. The nuts. Michael Greco, these 2 have been trying to knock each other out all night. You wouldn't figure both of them making it to the final heads up.
I would have put my money on these 2 going heads up, Jesse, from the beginning, because they're the 2 aggressive players of the 6 of them. They're the most experienced, and I think we're going to see a hell of a battle now.
Yeah, they both have shown themselves well capable of making their own arrangements no matter what the cards. And who do you think has gotten the best of the heads-up pots between them so far? I guess Yanni's come out on top.
Oh, most definitely, yeah. Yanni's come out on top.
Looking at the statistics, though, it's Roland with the chip lead.
Roland's got the chip lead, but Yanni's won the most hands. It's going to be an interesting battle.
De Wolfe
for you,
has been more aggressive, but Yanni, a higher percentage of hands won to hands played. And do you think they're going to play a lot of flops, or is it going to be the pre-flop action?
You can pass.
Pre-flop action.
No, I can't.
I think there'll be a lot of raising and a lot of re-raising. But they'll respect each other's play.
Blind 7 and 15,000, and Sointula says raise it up.
40,000 total.
Playing for 25 more, and de Wolfe gives it
Give
up.
me something nice. Show me 1
Okay.
ace. Okay.
Just 1.
Hello's left on this level.
Shuffling chips there, Yanni. It's harder than it looks. It's about a stack of 20, 10 by 10.
7,000 blind, please.
And those are the fingers of a piano player, a poker piano player.
Normal. 40.
Raised to 40,000 total.
Uh-oh.
All in coming?
All in.
We raise all in.
A lot of split pots here if this pot gets played.
Pass.
And, he's going to show his king as well.
Okay, he did have the best hand, but not by much.
These guys both, they said normal. Roland said normal. He raised to 40,000, which is just between 2 and 3 times the big blind. What is it about that size raise that encourages them? Not 3, not 2, but just between.
I don't know. You'd have to ask him afterwards. I think Yanni started it, and Roland's followed the
Exactly,
trend.
300.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Roland de Wolfe saying they are dead even in chips, meaning if they play a pot right now, all in, they'll both be all in. And Sointula might be willing with that hand.
Pass.
This is great poker, Jesse. It's there hasn't been an unraised pot, and I like this play.
Technically perfect. Artistically, a bit like watching paint dry.
Fair enough.
I think it might come down to a raise.
It's taken you 2 hours to say that tonight.
No, I mean,
You can have the ace king.
there's so little between them that it's hard for anyone to make any kind of move. It's just, it's almost like when there's nothing else to give. And the blinds are so big. I mean, they're not huge,
Not
but they're
huge.
big enough so that it's basically one move. The raise, if there's a re-raise, it'll be all in. It's
Yeah.
I don't have to raise every round.
What we need an ace king against a pair, something like that. Ace queen against tens or something, and then we'll see all the chips going.
just wondering, is there anything to be gained by one of these two players switching it up and just limping in and trying to see a flop, or would that just be asking for trouble?
No, I think that'd be great. Just change your play. Just don't be so consistent. Just don't be exactly the same, you know. Change gears. Well, there's our pair.
I'd like to guess that 40,000 is going to be that.
Raised to 40,000 total.
Yep, and there's our other
Oh.
pair. I could
Oh.
see a re-raise here, Jesse.
Well, if you do, de Wolfe is going to be basically in terrible trouble.
I think he's going to get a call here. He's gone all in. I think he's going to get a call. If he gets a call, de Wolfe will be in dire straits. I don't know how he can get away from this. Pair of sevens is huge, heads up. Does he, I mean,
That's what it seems like, although Yanni did seem to back away from what looked like a 50-50 confrontation before. If he thinks that Roland has got two overcards, I don't know. De Wolfe, though, has the perfect hand for Yanni to take him on.
If
All
he
he has to
calls.
do is squeeze.
shove him in, and you win.
Call.
He's called him. Yep, he's called him.
Small pair.
Oh,
That is not what you want to hear when you have
He did.
deuces.
he didn't want to hear that, did he, Roland?
The clash has come, and Roland de
Oh.
Wolfe needs help in a serious way. Nearly all the money is in the pot. I think Sointula might have a threadbare more. And a deuce is the key card here. That's all. I don't even think there's a possible straight out there for Roland.
A 3 and a 5. Nope, but then that would give Sointula a bigger straight.
Yeah, it has to be a 2. 2 twos.
2 twos left in the whole pack. Otherwise, Roland is down
Hellraiser!
315.
And Roland de Wolfe has played quite an impressive game tonight, Michael Greco, but Yanni Sointula just seemed to be that edge more.
It's a great bet from Roland, it really is, but an equally impressive call from Yanni.
Thank you, Roland.
It's all over. It's down and he's out.
The last hand again. Well, it was always going to come down to this push, re-push call, and Yanni Sointula, the 2-7's good enough. The third 7 on the river, like triple bingo, and the Finn going forward to the semis.
Well, that was some top-class poker. You'll never see that again. Yanni Sointula, congratulations. I mean, you were so dry early on with the cards, but you didn't let it get you down. You made your own arrangements.
Yeah, I had only pocket kings and pocket sevens and no other good hands, but I made some big bluffs and still some blinds.
And everything worked, really.
Yeah.
Commiserations, Roland. After just the third hand, you've gone all in with a pair of 9s and a 3 kicker. And did you realise you were up against such a big hand, pocket queens?
I didn't read him for such strength, but the range of hands I had was he had a high pair but not aces or kings, and I've raised before the flop, and he's made a strong move over the top of me, so I have to represent aces or kings or lay the hand down, and he made a good lay down.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like, Yanni, and both of you guys, when you're in there, you're capable of playing a lot of strange hands, a lot of strange ways. Is that because there's only one winner that you have to make those opportunities count?
Yeah, you have to play to win tournament. Second place, not paid, so...
Well, the biggest hands you guys played were against each other. There was no quarter given, but it's Yanni Sointula going forward to the semifinals. Join us next time here at the partypoker.net European Open, when the slots will be open, the seats will be filled, and the cards will be in the air.